we're back with Pretty Vain Radio, and this is really exciting because we have Lizzie, who is the director at Luxagogo.
Hey.
But more importantly, we're here to interview about how you got to become my best friend.
Well, throwing me for a loop here.
Just kidding, but you are one of my really good friends.
Do you really want the story?
Yeah, I want to hear the story.
Right.
Well, it's not that exciting.
Oh, go ahead. Just tell them how I was a dancing queen. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Back in the day, Chanel would be out at Seafair doing her dance moves on her dad's Donzi. So at Brandy's dad's party, she'd always be out there dancing when she was 12, and we were obviously drinking a lot. And I recently ran into her a couple years ago out at a bar, and we've been best friends ever since.
Yeah,
The rest is history.
killing the game. Okay, so the real reason why you're on the show is to tell us about Luxagogo, which is awesome because it's been around for, you'll have to tell us for how long.
Well, we launched in October. I started working for Kirsten, the owner, in June, and the idea came up like last fall. So basically, it's an online high-end women's retailer. We sell a lot of brands that you can't find online, you know, so that's what kind of sets us apart from our competition.
Right, because so to give the listeners kind of an idea, it's like a Net-a-Porter, but explain why yours is different.
It's definitely like a Net-a-Porter, but not as much trend-driven like they are. So it's stuff that everyone can wear, a lot of fashion basics, a lot of cashmere, a lot of great coats, and then transition into spring right now, you know, a lot of great sandals, cool spring jackets, just awesome quality stuff, and a lot of brands that once you start wearing them, you fall in love with them. Because I'll be honest, when I started working for Kirsten, a lot of the brands I didn't know of, but now I do and I love, and that's all that I wear.
Yeah, no, just you'll bring stuff back to my apartment or whatever stuff that you wear out that I've never heard of the designers. And I mean, it's the most phenomenal, amazing quality luxury items that I feel like you can't even find those items in Seattle. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the demographic?
The demographic is probably 30 to 50. Definitely got to have some cash to
You
spend
do have to have cash. Geez, I mean, my mom, I even get nervous about using my mom's credit card there.
So basically, so yes, things are expensive, but things are expensive everywhere now. Like you go to Nordstrom's and you can't walk out $500 or less. So I think to say that we're super expensive is probably not totally fair. We're definitely higher end, but we aren't Forever 21. You know, so we're trying to kind of break that up and definitely bring some lower price items in.
Right.
So they're definitely items that you'll have forever. That was the
I do
goal.
love that. And you can wear, so I love that because I can't afford to have head to toe, you know, designer or fancy, but you can have one piece and then mix it with Forever 21 or whatever makes it, or, you know, like your average basics, and it like makes them just pop that much more.
Totally. I think Chanel and I pretty much dress like that. You know, you have like one standout item that you spend a lot on, and then you accessorize it with lower end, and it works.
So tell us about Eero, because that's one of the more, I think, affordable lines that you have.
Okay, so Eero is more contemporary line. It's super awesome. It only gets better.
It really does. It's amazing.
I think kind of how they broke out were their jackets. So they do cool jacket, like a sequin jacket, jackets with like tweed and leather. So definitely make them wearable, but still trendy.
They remind me of like D-squared type, like quality jackets, because you had the blue sequin one on last weekend, and I was blown away. And for the price point and what it looked like, I mean, amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of my Michael Jackson jacket.
Blue sequin.
Blue sequins, and if you
I feel like I need to see this.
If you like, you know, rub your hand like one way, it's like blue, but then the other way it's silver. So
like
it can
velvet.
be distressed, or it can be one or the other color. It's so cool.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like, you know, we sell items like that when you walk into a bar or, you know, out shopping, people ask you, where in the hell did you get that?
Right.
Which we will see on I Saw You. It'll be like, who's the blonde in the blue sequin jacket over there?
Or who's the blonde in black and gray, per usual.
So, also, like, kind of a behind the scenes look, because we have a lot of like fashionista and fashion, you know, industry people listening.
Absolutely.
We had Devaney on, who is kind of like a social media queen, and I know you've talked to Tara and I about online retail for Shea Chic. What's like the hardest part being an online retailer versus being, you know, a storefront?
Well, let me tell you. I think it's a whole different cup of tea. I think for me, it was a new learning experience, and I'm still learning how to get your audience, and not only get your audience, but get the right audience that is going to buy. And that's every single day we're trying to achieve that. And, you know, we do it through the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. But yeah, it's not like a storefront where you can have all your friends down and, you know, sell to your friends or whatever.
Right.
So you have definitely a broad market. But that's something.
But then you have the World Wide Web, so at the same time, benefits.
So basically, our audience is not necessarily Seattle just because we're from here. Most of the people that buy from us are New York, Chicago, Philadelphia. Surprisingly, not a lot of LA.
I remember a story.
I think it'll continue to build, and probably more LA stuff as summer comes along. More of our look is probably a little bit more casual, laid back.
Yeah, so I remember I've been with you since you started, obviously, just hearing about, you know, what you're doing next before it even launched. And you were sitting on my couch, and it was like, honestly, like 2:30 in the morning. And you're like, oh my God, I got to call Kirsten, my boss, because I got a huge order from Boston, our first order from Boston. You're so excited.
Oh, yeah. That was like, you know, when you get an order, you freak out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the beginning, it starts out slow. So anyone that's opening an online retailer, I'm just letting you know.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too excited at the beginning because you will be let down.
Well, so tell everyone where they can find you at.
So you can find us at www.luxagogo.com. We're also on Facebook, obviously, and we try to update new looks. And on Twitter, and we get new merchandise in almost daily, and we try to update at least 3 times a week. So there's always fresh new items on, and it only gets better.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Of course.
We'll talk to you a little bit because we're going to have a Roundtable Ladies Rant and Rave session. So we'll be right back.